Good morning, everybody. This is your favorite host, Mallory Shulkin, with Good Morning, where we talk about everything from under the sun, over the sun, in between, far beyond. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Good morning, my lovely listeners. Speaking of listeners, it's funny because I believe privacy is a right to human nature. And I've also found that sometimes the people that are supposed to understand that, they just have a lack of respect for human beings in general. Like when it comes to privacy, I don't know if anyone has dealt with these types of situations. I mean, in physical form, unfortunately, I have been dealing with real life stalking, which I never imagined would happen. And it's scary. And that's why I need to stress, first of all, ladies, like how important it is to vet so deeply who you let into your life. And I know most of you are like just already good at this because, well, we all slip up sometimes. We all need to hear it. And we all need to remind each other. You are a sensitive habitat. Your body is. And when you introduce things to it that stress it out, literally, like I let someone into my life that every day would stress me out purposefully. And I thought I could handle it because that's just kind of the person I am. But I already deal with so much stress every day. Like, from all angles. And I reached the point where, first of all, this is going to sound bad to a lot of people. And I care a little bit because I already made a preface, so you can see that there's that little bit of caring there. But I was so out of someone's league, and in every way, every aspect, at least they don't need to think that, but in my opinion, like, just every way. And it looked, morally, like that sounds bad coming from me, but anyways, it all plays out. Ladies, just if you never settle for anyone under your league, okay? It's just not worth it. I don't know what people get out of that, but why would you ever do that? Like, if you could have someone that's like you're more attracted to, and I guess people don't want to be that shallow, right? So I also have reason for that as well. Like, I have dated people in the past who there was a clear depth missing. Like, just that is what will lead to your depression. My biggest depressions and confusions have stemmed from being in relationships where there was a clear lack of depth connection. And I would leave wondering, what the fuck just happened? We didn't even have anything to talk about. And when you don't relate on that deep emotional level, you just do weird things to like force stuff. And then you start blaming yourself and doing all these things to try to like make up for it. The simple truth is trust your instinct, or you will literally waste years of your life. And some people have the opinion of it's not a waste, like you learn something. Sure. There's that side of it as well, because you learn something. But it is a waste of time. And you can get good at cutting it out. I was never good at that. But I learned the hard way, and now I'm going to be a friggin' kamikaze. Yeah. It's really interesting, and I think certain situations can also lead you to the path you're supposed to be on. Like, dating enough horrible people has showed me like, I am a feminist at heart. And I realized, like, my relationship with certain people in my life has, you try to be nice. You try to be as nice as you can. And for me, like, when I am nice, like, I give my heart. And I'm never going to give my heart to anybody again. Yeah. I've just made so many excuses for poor behavior. And I know that there is obviously that deeper level. I'm not God, okay? That's the truth. And I think I was trying to play God for so long, like trying to be so forgiving. Like, genuinely, like, I wanted to help these people grow and heal. Guys, you have to make these people do the work. I've done the work. You think you're going to get out scot-free? No. These people have to do the work, or else they're actually never going to, like, grow as a human being. And, like, for example, say someone is, there are certain people that genuinely need help and they just don't cause any harm. And, that's kind of a different scenario. I'm not saying don't be a helpful human being. That's the last thing I'm saying. But I think I literally compromise so much of myself for other people. And if you do that, you lose yourself and you lose who you are. And that's why, honestly, like, as a woman, I don't know. Like, don't count my word for it. But, well, this one you can probably bet. Like, I believe as a woman, you've got to vouch for women. Like, if you don't vouch for women, you're not vouching for yourself. It doesn't need to be this, like, thing you show off to the world. Like, it doesn't need to be, like, so obvious. But, like, on a deeper level, like, do you respect yourself? And it's so sad because I hear about horrible, relationships women get into. And it just breaks my heart. And I know it's like the first thing I'm doing this morning is letting this out, but it's truly something I feel like I need to get out in a way. I'm hoping one day that I can just process it on that deeper level of understanding. And because I know you have to do that type of work as well so that there's just no mistakes made. However, I also believe that sharing my story can help. I'm hoping that it will help prevent people from getting into situations, but just will help people, I guess. That's why I'm sharing it. I could just move on. I mean, I have moved on, but I could just not say anything about it and just mind my own business. But I feel like that's also a little selfish, and yeah, I'll get into it a little later, but I'm at my sun sign is a communicative sign. It's possible that by relaying this information, I'm actually helping more people. And, the lack of respect we have for that, for our women, it shows directly through basically our earth burning up, and we're not going to have anywhere to live. So I don't know how else to put it. Greta Thunberg is truly one of, I might put that excerpt in here. The 1975 actually did. I know people have, like, given up, and, I can't even say I can't say I haven't either. Like, life is hard enough. It's like, what are we have to worry about making money. But I'm telling you, there are ways you can do it, and I'm telling you that even just being aware of it is going to be helpful as well. 1975 did a whole song, and it's not really a song. They literally just had her speak over their music, and she said it perfectly. And I wish I could be more of an impact, honestly. But there are people, the people above us, they are the responsible ones. The people that have all the money, the people that are in control, they're the ones responsible. How are we supposed to break into that? There's no way. And the truth is, yeah, you're responsible. Isn't that what you signed up for? Didn't you sign up to be a responsible human being that takes care of our planet? And if that's not what you did, then why are you in there? And that's where morals just got so messed up. I can't believe there's even people that hate on her. You've got to be lost, honey, if you're going to hate on, first of all, a young girl that is literally saying, hey, our home it's not doing so well. How are you going to hate on that? But yeah, I'm just definitely, noticing these things. Well, I've always noticed them, but it definitely, unfortunately, have some distractions. Who doesn't? And so that's why I'm actually, we can relate on that some levels, but I don't want to be relatable. Honestly, I don't want to be relatable if relatable is that way. I can't help be relatable because I'm human. I'm always going to have that sense of relatability, but I genuinely don't, at the rate it's going. Yeah, and it's also getting to the point where we're having a hard time trusting the people that are in power. How can you trust people in power if this is where we are? I'm not saying it's all bad. Of course not. I mean, we're probably the most inclusive country, one of the most inclusive countries, diverse countries. We've come a long way. But I think our next biggest, what we need to be focusing on is the biggest thing in the room. And I mean, the biggest thing in this room is our earth, literally. It's literally our largest home. Money can't, well, it can. Money can help in this scenario, but you can't really, I guess you can keep printing it from, but yeah, that's the thing, you're not even going to have money to print. You're not even going to have money to print. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. To give context to this, because I'm editing it now and it's kind of all over the place, basically, don't get into toxic relationships and know when to see the signs and cut them off. And yeah, I think this is one of the best mornings I've ever had because I'm able to share all of this with you all. Okay, let's get into it. Going off of that. So I already knew, I don't need to speak about it. And honestly, I should just shut the fuck up because I honestly don't want to attract anybody. But I feel like women need to know this too. Women need to know this. And basically, women, ladies, I made the biggest mistake of my life, and I am still paying for it. Like, it is a sin to, share energy with someone who clearly who just disrespected a woman. That was my greatest sin. Those people, they'll never change. They never change. Unless they have a huge wake-up call. Do not do it. Obviously, I didn't know what this person had done. You think that's the first thing they say? You think that's, hey, so I'm actually an abusive, manipulative, insecure person. No, they don't say that. And you guys, I sound horribly cold, but I can't be nice anymore. I'm sorry. I cannot be nice. It gets me into horrible situations. Save your kindness for people that deserve it. And you have to be clear about who deserves it, who doesn't. I obviously found out about what he had done later. However, still, I was a naive little girl. Still gave him the benefit of the doubt, right? Horrible mistake. Ladies, we will never lie to each other. And at least that's the kind of relationship I have with my sisters for the most part. There have been moments that have destroyed me when, you know what, they can be liars, whatever. It's kind of hard to say exactly, because there's always like little webs, but I think there's a truth to holding people accountable for their actions. And I am now accountable for my actions. However, I know, and I don't even want to waste my breath on this person. That's how little I feel for them. But I just want to get it out as a warning. Ladies, if you have any doubt, do not do it. Go to the gym, drink your water, go for a hike. It can be dangerous, okay? It's dangerous to get into that. And if someone was abusive to their past person, they're gonna be abusive to you, honey. You're not gonna change him. It doesn't matter if you think you're better than her. Which, yeah, it doesn't matter. You're never gonna change him. And that, my friend, is your biggest friend. You should never have to change your Prince Charming is going to be come on. You should want a Prince Charming. We've been doing charity work, ladies. We've been doing charity work. I was doing charity work. Okay? For the wrong person. Like, the charities that genuinely could use my help are the planet. Like, the priorities, right? The priorities. Our planet. Our elderly. Our children. Not these people. And there should probably be a place there. These people need serious help. There should be, an institution maybe where these people can learn how to, how to be in relationship or, just in general, how to learn how to be. But I paid the price, put myself in danger, family in danger. Doesn't feel good. And it's because I had lost myself along the way. Losing my mom, I've told you guys before, losing my mom, I lost my morals. I lost who I knew I was. And I think All the signs told me I was lost. Literally told me. You have to listen to the sign. Watch the signs, people. Watch the freaking signs. Yeah. Gotta charge my AirPods. Okay, and there's two things that give me confidence or that give me hope. One that's changed my life is understanding and believing that there is a natural law to the universe, which we all sometimes call karma. My older sister Rebecca, she's always believed in this on like a deeper level than most. And that's what people might not realize about her. She's quiet and she's stable and she's easygoing in most regards. But she has, and she's not gonna, shout it from the rooftops. That's what I'm for. That was my place in this dynamic. And it has caused some rifts for us. Sometimes I embarrass her because I feel protective of her. And I'm not going to let anyone walk all over her. And so she'll even be protective of herself. And then she gets protective of herself. And she's like, well, and we balance each other out well because then she'll call me out and I'll be like, okay, makes sense. But she just, at least she knows that if she needed someone, she needs to send for someone to speak up. She got me. But I'm learning from her too. And what I learned is she's always believed in this like underlying karma. It's just she's just a really good person. And, it's on such a deep level that she believes it, that it shows. And, yeah, and so I've started to really use that as a guiding light in my life. And because when your back's turned, there's always going to be eyes. Like, there is a higher power watching at all times, and it should give you peace. And it's not the cops, it's not the government, it is the universe. It's higher than all of us. And if you can, do your best by that law, you'll be pretty good. Unfortunately, underneath that law are other forces. And some are not good. So it's like, honestly, in a way, it's sometimes a curse to be here. Because it's like you have to deal with like unhealed forces. But it's also a blessing to be here. Because, for obvious reasons. But at the state it's in right now, it's not looking like a blessing, right? For some people, it probably is, which that's good. Everyone has their own journeys. So that's one thing that gives me comfort. Another thing that gives me comfort is always believing that people who not only do they want the best for you, but they're pretty deep and they're pretty good people, they will want to see you succeed. Like the right people who are wise, who are maybe years ahead of you will genuinely want the best for you and want to see you succeed. And that's how you can sniff people out. It's just the truth. If you feel like there are people who there have been people who literally tear me down. And because I was a good person, like I just wanted to see I blamed myself. And I can't do that anymore because I'm not that type of person. And yeah, and so I think losing my mom, who genuinely wanted the best for me, was hard. It's really hard because it's not easy to find that in other people. Like, hopefully at least your moms want the best for you. I hope and pray, and if they don't, pray for someone who does. Because I know there are people out there still struggling. But, you guys, do you think like a Jedi master on a hill, he doesn't, at least from the scriptures I've read, like in Buddhism, things like that, all the masters never talked poorly to their students. They would do, little things to maybe see them grow, but they never, didn't want to see them grow. You can't be with someone who doesn't want to see you grow. Just like a plant growing, you deserve the right to grow. And unfortunately, you're your biggest fan. It's fortunate as well because you'll never lose that, hopefully. There's my doubt. There's my doubt. Because I have experienced that. And hopefully by being transparent and just being like, look, I'm not in the best place. So please leave me alone. Hopefully people respect that. And if they don't, then I'm just going to have to build up higher walls, which I can do as well. But I just hope that there's a decent amount of respect. Yeah, that's the biggest thing I can take away. Like, I truly have believed, I met some really special people on my journey. I can shout him out, actually. One of them was Araz. And he changed my life, truly, in a really amazing way. He actually is starting his own podcast right now. His Ascending Humans on Instagram. You guys can look him up. He has the most amazing recipes. Literally, these things will help you become the best version of yourself, the healthiest version of yourself. He and I would just have these conversations that he just knows, I think his presence is just enough. He just knows how to ignite that conviction. He has a lot of conviction, and it's just within him. And so that's powerful. He would always, push me to grow. And I need that in my life. I need people that remind me of who I am. Because there's so many people that want you to play small. Especially when they're actually intimidated by you. They, feed off of it like maggots. It's really sad. But yeah, luckily I do have people in my life who are on that journey too. And when they're on that journey, they push you to grow. And I just need to keep reminding myself to find those types of people. And they're all around me, and I make mistakes by this is my blind side, and you have to be aware of your imperfections. You have to, or else you will blind yourself. I am not perfect. I am a human being with flaws. And so because I'm aware of that, it helps make up for the lack of awareness I might have from my imperfections. I just every day wake up feeling the pain from other people, and it's not good. And I know this is where I need to learn how to have my boundaries up. But I've been sensitive from a young age, and we all are sensitive at young ages. And actually, like, I'm just going to I don't want anyone to take advantage. It's like, there's something very disgusting to me about someone that would, like, take advantage of someone's sensitivity. To me, that's the ultimate sin. And if you don't think you pay for that karma, I don't even need to speak about it. I see it with my eyes every day. And even that's painful. Like, it's painful. Because I suppose I also have the capacity to feel for that as well. Just as a human being, cursed on this earth with empathy. Jesus Christ. That's like one of the worst things you could have done to us, Lord. Whoever you are, universe. Now we have to feel other people's pain? Please. But that's the thing, is like, we will all suffer if we don't start taking care of ourselves, of our planet. We could literally be living on, like, the most gorgeous, healthy planet ever with literally rainbows and butterflies. Shout out. That is a thing. But unfortunately, okay, so there's the blue and the red pill, right? I'm pretty sure, just based off the colors, I'm pretty sure the blue is, like, the ignorant pill, and the red is the, like, non-ignorant pill. That blue pill, it seems all fun and games, right? That's all it is. It's literally all it is, and nothing good comes from that. It's just a superficial way to skim over life, and when you live life like that, the pain of knowing that there actually is pain here on earth that we need to, like, heal. I don't know why. Unfortunately, we are that's why we see all these healers coming in. Like, we're all going through this healing phase because that's what our earth is begging us right now. That's why we're getting blessed with all of these healers. That I'm like, it's amazing. People are healing their disease. People are healing that. And that's what we need to, follow. We need to believe in good. Because then we won't have to escape to this fantasy land. It'll literally be here on earth. That's what heaven is when we take the best version of society and bring it into physical reality. And until that's brought here into our physical reality, you're constantly going to be killing your body with drugs to escape. And it hurts my heart to speak that because I feel that pain. Sometimes it's a pain we don't even know how to describe, which is the worst. I've been there. When you don't know how to even describe your pain, you feel like you'll be lost in it forever. That's when your journey begins, because you're going to try to start understanding your own pain. You'll understand other people's pain, and you will swallow that red pill, baby. Swallow the red pill, because unfortunately, that is our burden here on this planet at this time. And here's the thing, no one's unless I can't speak for everyone, but unless the people who made these actions actually had poor intentions and they were like, yep, let's kill the earth with these fossil fuels. Let's do it. It didn't even happen that way. Like, they just wanted transportation. And so it's not like I'm angry at them for that. Like, that's something that and there can be Elon Musk haters all you want. I don't know him as an individual, but I've heard horrible things. He also invented one of the first the most fuel efficient car. So honestly, you guys, sometimes the people you hate the most, for whatever reason, and I've actually heard a lot of things he's said, and I actually kind of agreed with a lot of them. And y'all can hate me for that, but I don't have one. My best friend has one. And first of all, my best friend he's just awesome. But, and then, there's going to be the worst type of people, I swear to God. Not the worst. I can't even talk anymore because you can literally, see both sides to everything. So, this is just going to be an infinite conversation because you can literally debate each side. Sorry, I was actually on speech and debate, so they would give me, prompts, and you would have to convince people of even, the bad things. Did I ever choose those sides? No. I like the easier sides. I like the side that's for good, but it's actually really beneficial to see both. Okay, where was I? Elon Musk. Yeah, the people that are like, well, the batteries, those dang batteries. It's like, bro, we were burning cooking oil and releasing methane into the atmosphere, and now we at least have this. We've got to give some type of credit, even though everyone wants to hate. You have to give some type of credit on a big picture. Okay, well, these are steps that we should be making. It's clear as day that the gas we're burning is literally creating a shield around our earth. First of all, polluting it. But the best example that I've been trying to give, when you microwave a plastic bowl, there is a chemical reaction that happens between the plastic and the heat. Heat can change things. That's why it's so powerful. It's one of the natural forces of nature, heat. And so that it's just as powerful, you have to be just as careful. When introduced to the plastic, free radicals and toxic chemicals are released because plastic is unnatural. And so when your food will absorb that is cancer. Okay. That's in the way. So that's a small picture that we can see scientifically. It's a little science experiment. Now, put that in a grand scale. We have the sun serving as that heat conductor introduced with gas, methane gas. What do you think's happening? It's the same thing, but just all around us, and it's silent and it's slow, just like your microwave. Beep, 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 beep. It's happening all day around you. Also, if you're wondering how I'm able to talk this long, I've got to out myself. I am a Gemini, and yes, I know. I'm looking down. I'll join a support group. Don't worry. Yeah. We're able to talk about anything for long amounts of time, and it really can annoy people. And, that's okay. It's okay, because if I can't hate myself. I don't want to hate myself. And people hate me enough already. So, there are people that just don't like me enough already that I need to love myself. I don't want to be on this earth and hate myself. No, that sounds horrible. That's not a good vessel to, navigate life with. And so I just have to embrace that, this is who I was ashamed of it for so long because I didn't want to be that annoying girl. I didn't want to be an annoying girl that talks a lot. Everyone wants to be a mysterious girl who's deep and quiet and oh my God, what's under there? Usually it's nothing. I'm just kidding. That's not true because I just told you about my sister, Rebecca. there's always something. There's wisdom. There's stuff under there, but I don't know. We're ruled by Mercury as Geminis, so we literally are here to communicate with others. And that's why I also do believe in signs, because I had to learn to love that side of myself, and I'm hoping that I spread love with my words. And I think that's why we're each given these unique characteristics. But yeah, I have tried to be that like quiet person, but underneath I just have so much that I feel about the world and about things, and I just, yeah. I really enjoy also like speaking about it, because I don't want to be someone who sits by. Like, I really want to be an active member of society. It also, as a Gemini, it's a masculine sign. Like, you have to get to know, I really recommend getting to know your signs. It's fun. You get to know yourself. And so my big three are all masculine signs. Like, I have come to terms that I carry a lot of masculine energy. It's a forward moving energy, and it can be to the certain people it's intimidating, to the right people it's not. Like, you'll find your groove. But so yeah, I'm Gemini, Libra, Aries. Those are my big three. And then I have Earth. Thank God. I have no water in my chart. Let's start there. There's no water in my chart, and I'm surrounded by Pisces and Scorpios in my family. So I believe it's just a perfect balance in a weird way. Like, my sister's a Scorpio, my sister's a Pisces, my other sister is more earthy, but also has water in her moon. Like, my mom was a Scorpio. My mom was water in her sun sign, but I believe she had a fire moon, and that's where we connected. Anyways, and even if you're not, like, even if it's not making the most sense to you, like, oh my God, it's clicking, like, you can, but don't try to force it. Don't try to force it. Trust me, like, for example, a relationship I was in, there was something telling me genuinely, we're not compatible based on our signs. And you can't, because I tried to force it, I just tried to force it. Just don't, guys, nature doesn't lie. That's where it's a little different from human beings. And that's why we can look at it as a guide. It doesn't lie. Humans lie because of our egos and our brains. Thank God Earth doesn't necessarily have a brain. Like, it has some type of brain. But shame is because of mistakes and somehow feeling guilty for those mistakes. And we all have it to some degree. And it's sad because shame needs to be healed. But the only way you can heal shame is by accepting your mistakes, meeting them with love, and trying to do the right thing the next time. That's really all it is. And always just trust your instincts. Always trust your instincts. It's there for a reason. For whatever reason, there needs to be an instinct tuning school. We learn about the brain in our heads, which is great, but there needs to be learning about the brain in our guts. And that's another reason why people focus so much on gut health. Most of our guts are so out of whack. And that we don't even, because of this, we make horrible mistakes. Like, intuition, I believe, is all of those connected. And because we're all sponges in a way, we absorb energy that can get stuck and become, just stuck, and energy that's not supposed to be there. I thank you guys so much for listening, and this has been truly an amazing speaking moment for me. I'm hoping that it had an impact on whoever needs to hear this. I have no doubt in my brain that this is how I feel about the world, and I know that there are other people who feel this way about the world too. I've just unfortunately been in more of I haven't been able to hang out with those people, and it's important to keep those people in your circle. Have you guys ever seen, I saw a really great comparison to this, and I know there are also people on the other side, well, it's like, well, that's hard because you might be in a situation where you've been, dealing with certain people for a long time. I understand the other side of it. Because I understand that side, I also need to remind you that there is the other side that's healthy. And it simply gets down to, where do you feel safe and comfortable? You've got to do what's best for you. For me, I really value my health, and I don't feel good if I'm not healthy. And it's become a real shame because people will shame other people for caring about their health. That's scary to me. I know that's scary to me. It doesn't feel good. It's also kind of what's wrong with our healthcare system right now. Some of our doctors aren't setting the best examples. And it is important. It is important to set a good example. Karmically as well. It just is. And it's not, sometimes it is easy to do. Sometimes it's not easy to do. Anyways, I really appreciate the time of whoever's taking time to listen to this, but not only listen to it, please follow and subscribe. For so long, I've just given so much. For obviously because I have a good heart, but if you like this podcast, give it a like, give it a follow. I don't know where to post this. I have a Spotify that I can post this to, but I'm also thinking maybe YouTube. YouTube is just kind of where I've had all my content. And I need more similar thinkers in my life. I really do right now. I need strength and remembrance of that I'm doing the right thing on this path. So please give me a follow, and I'll give you a follow back to your page. If we're in alignment, let's do it. All right. I hope everyone has a great day. I'll probably come on here again. Love you all. Another thing is, if you have dug yourself deep into a hole and you've hurt a lot of people, the only way there's not hope for you is if you continue to do those mistakes. And if you have way too much pride that you can say that you've made a mistake, then you're screwing yourself. and no one's going to want to help you. You have to help yourself. You also have to learn to apologize if you did something wrong. It is freeing to do that. It sets you free from whatever trap you've created. I really believe in asking for forgiveness, but you also have to learn to forgive yourself. But look, you're not going to be able to forgive yourself if you don't do everything in your power to try to make up for what you've done. And it will haunt you in your brain. And it makes me sad that people suffer like that. It really does. But we all have our own paths, and you can't stop your life for people. You've got to keep things moving. You've got to keep things moving and flowing. And I really am a firm believer in taking responsibility for your actions. I think that it's the only way to set yourself free. Another thing, your karma will be tenfold if you hide your pain, you lie about things you've done, and then you also continue to take it out on someone else. You are gonna live in hell if you do that. It's a hell that you create when you lie to yourself and others. No one can save you from that but yourself. All right. That sounds really morbid, but sometimes pain can be that deep. And, I believe people that truly want to change will be able to resonate with that. Another thing is, if you have dug yourself deep into a hole and you've hurt a lot of people, the only way there's not hope for you is if you continue to do those mistakes. And if you have way too much pride that you can say that you've made a mistake, then you're screwing yourself, and no one's going to want to help you. You have to help yourself. You also have to learn to apologize if you did something wrong. It is freeing to do that. It sets you free from whatever trap you've created. I really believe in asking for forgiveness, but you also have to learn to forgive yourself. But look, you're not going to be able to forgive yourself if you don't do everything in your power to try to make up for what you've done. And it will haunt you in your brain. And it makes me sad that people suffer like that. It really does. But we all have our own paths, and you can't stop your life for people. You've got to keep things moving. You've got to keep things moving and flowing. And I really am a firm believer in taking responsibility for your actions. I think that it's the only way to set yourself free. It really is. So that's the best advice I can give. And we're going to close this one out. I also want to be clear that this goes for these are some really heavy topics. These are deep topics, and it's about, maybe some deeper things. But if someone's for example, I've been in situations where someone was like, hey, maybe you did this the wrong way. And I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And I kept saying, I'm sorry. But it got to the point where I noticed they just kept doing that. And because I have this awareness of taking responsibility, I said sorry so much. But then I noticed they took advantage of that, because look, it's only the universe forcing me through this breaking point. I'm understanding that now, but you also can't be on the other side of things. If you truly are trying your best and people just keep expecting you to apologize, that's a narrative you need to end, honey. They're no good. No good, baby. Signing off. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Good Mourning. I can't wait to talk to you guys next time. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like, subscribe, and follow on all platforms.